Greetings from Ahsen Qazi, and today we'll be talking about our team building program. So this is a revolutionary team building program which you can use to optimize and have high performing teams. When two or more people get together to accomplish a task, you're working in a team. From the time you were students or you were playing football or you in your college days, you worked in different teams. In the university, you worked on different projects in teams. And sometimes you did really well in one team and you couldn't do well in another team. Why does this happen? So let us talk about team building and how can you have optimized performance in team building. And today I'll be talking about the colored brain as well and how the colored brain could help you have high performing teams. So remember, an individual acts differently while he's alone, and if he's put in a team, he acts differently. So what are those things and how can you measure those things and how could you have better high performing teams? So we're here to talk about this. So teams are at the heart of success of any great organization. Remember, any successful company which has had success has great teams. A successful government has a great team. So team building is everywhere in our life. Our family is also a team. Your work environment, your colleagues, your boss, and you're working with them, that's also teamwork. So all high performing organizations have high performing teams. So right now, if you're feeling frustration or you feel stuck that my team is not doing well and my people don't understand me, so maybe we could help you with the colored brain, which I'll be talking about subsequently in this video. So greater synergy in your team will lead you to more productivity and reducing time in conflict and getting to a higher level in teamwork. Now, motivating your team can be a problem. Okay, so it's challenging. However, this skill is learnable, and if you just use the proven strategies as a leader of your team, you can motivate your team and you can have high levels of motivation and you can lead by example. So some of the ways you could motivate your team include supportive behavior. If you have supportive behavior, you're here to support your team. If you're like that great football team, captain, or that hockey team captain, or the great captain who's just walking and just bugging up his ballers, or he's leading by example. So you have supportive behavior. All great things begin by sharing your vision. As leaders of your team, as team leaders, as leaders of your organization, you need to share your vision. A few of the ways you could motivate your team is supportive behavior. If you have supportive behavior, if you're supporting your team, if you're talking to them, listening to them, guiding them, mentoring them, so you'll be having high performance teams. Sharing your vision can be really magical. If you share your vision, if you share your vision with your team, that you're going to accomplish this task, and you're going to get this, attain these goals, and you're going to get these financial benefits, you're going to get these career benefits, you're going to be known for this thing, so they'll start contributing you and helping you. Some things go wrong in your team and some things go right. So remember, as team leaders, as leaders of your team, have positive feedback, give positive feedback, emphasize those things which they have done well. Don't look at the negative things. So positive feedback takes you a long way in your teamwork. So there might be individuals, and as a leader you need to show individual contributions. So you have contributions from other people as well. Acknowledge those contributions. Acknowledge the contributions of the people that are working with you, so you have stronger teamwork. Getting to know your team. You must know each and every individual, what is their task, what is their role in your organization, how they are helping you achieve the goals which you want to achieve as an organization or as a company or wherever you're working. Leading by example, setting a personal example. So if the team leader, he gets up in the morning, he gives all his energy, he gives his best. So the team members, they also want, okay, now this leader is doing something, they try and follow him and they try and adapt to what he's doing. Team leaders also need to provide opportunities to the team to learn new skills. Because if work gets boring, if there's no interest, if there's no motivation to learn new things, then sometimes team members do lose interest. We have a poor culture and we have a high performance culture which is good for teamwork. So remember, in a poor culture, if you employ 100 people, they'll only be giving you the output of 68 people. So that's a big wastage of resources. You're wasting about 30% of your resources by having a poor team culture. But if your team culture is good, it's supportive, right? It's a high performance culture. And if you employ 100 people, they'll do the work of 151 people. So that's about a 50% jump in your performance. So a high culture is the best culture you need to have a high performance team. Now teams sometimes become dysfunctional as well. Okay, there can be conflict on resources, there can be conflict on responsibilities, there can be conflict on so many other things, on accountability. So this way teams can become dysfunctional and there can be disruptions in your teams. So that does occur, and there are ways you could solve this. And one of the proven ways which we are going to talk about is a colored brain. Before we talk about the colored brain, organizing your team is challenging. So if you have like high performance people, if you get all the high performance people in your organization and if you put them in a team, so that team might be successful, and in most cases that team doesn't end up being successful because it's the way that those people they act and interact with each other. Even if you have the most high performing people in an organization, if you put them in a team, in a single team, that team might not be the best performing team. Okay, so why does this happen? In case you have a mediocre individual and you put him in another team and he starts performing, okay, so this is predictable, and we'll be talking about this and telling you how the team building and the colored brain works. Would you like to communicate clearly with your team? Would you like to have high levels of understanding, so everything you say they understand, and there's no time wasted on trying to explain things to them? Okay, so we have a tool we've talked about in the beginning. It's called the colored brain. So the colored brain is because human beings are different, so the brain processing for different people is different. And according to research, we've divided them into 4 groups: red, green, blue and purple. And I'll be talking about all 4 of these and how it affects teamwork. So if you're green brain, alright, so green brain are chaotic processing people. Nothing is connected. So they get clarity through action, so they're quick action takers. They need feedback and they see there's a lot of fuzzy logic going here and there, and they end up doing many things at one time. Okay, they make mistakes but they get over things quickly, and they recover faster than other people. So they're quick action takers, but they do make mistakes, and they have clarity by taking action. So these are the green brain people. Then we have the red brain people. These are linear processing people. They're structured, they have objectives. Like Socrates was red brain, Bill Gates is red brain, so he's always looking for these structures, he's making these structures, he made these structures in Microsoft, right? They're objective, they need clarity, and they do some analysis, right? They do some analysis and then they make a plan, and then they get to the results. So they take some time, okay, and it takes them longer to recover from mistakes. So these are linear processing people. And then we have the blue brain people. These people have a very strong sixth sense. Everything is connected through sensitivity, or they're sensitive to their surroundings, they're sensitive to what is going on around them, alright. They're insightful, intuitive, they have multitasking abilities, they can do a few things at one time and it doesn't bother them, unlike the red brain people, alright. They make decisions based on their intuition, and they sometimes might take on others' problems as well. Okay. Now the purple brain people, these are relational processing people. They relate everything to everything else. So they would relate this thing to this thing and this thing to this thing. So they must know all the options, and they take a long time to make decisions. Detail oriented, they're good for research, but they're slow to act and slow to react. They must know the options, they have difficulty in delegating, and the classic example of the purple brain people was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a purple brain person, and he had difficulty in delegating, but he knew all the details and he worked meticulously and hard, so that's why he made such a big company. All this has led you to believe that everybody is working in a different way in a team, and if you have a group of green brain people, or you have some red brain and blue brain and purple brain, so all this would help you have better communication. Alright, once you have better communication, you can have more trust, and you could decrease your conflict, and you could have high performance teams. Now, we are here to promote this team building program. If you like for me, for my company to conduct a free promotional team building program in your company, so there are details at the end of this video, and you can get in contact with us, and we can do a free promotional program that will tell you how we could optimize the worst performing team, alright, and we could make it the best performing team in your company. So thank you very much, take care, and all the best.